Hello everyone, my name is Randy. Hopefully you saw the first video that I posted about my IWC collection, where I started with the Spitfire Bronze, reference IW388106. And just for length and attention span and taking a break, I've broken my quick look at my collection into 3 different videos. A little bit from the intro from my last video. Thank you to Lauren from the IWC concierge in the United States. She was absolutely fantastic in assisting me in acquiring this collection. And also thank you to Reed's Jewelers, from whom I purchased my first IWC watch. Incredibly accommodating, fantastic people. So let's pick up with the Pilot Chronograph. And these are in no particular order because I don't love any one of these particularly more than the other. And I don't think that I wear any one of them particularly more than the other. They all have a place. And if I were to say that if I could only take one with me to a deserted island, well, we'll do that at the end. After we wrap up with the Mark 20, I will say which one I would take with me to a deserted island. It might not be which one you think. So let's jump into the Top Gun 41 Ceratanium chronograph watch. Now the first thing that you'll notice is that this is not on the factory strap. This is the factory strap. And while it looks pretty good in photos, it's pretty not great. What is great about it? The look. What is great about it? The Ceratanium buckle matches the case. They could have cheaped out and gone with a PVD coated or some kind of a brushed or what have you, black buckle, but they didn't. This material matches perfectly the material of the watch. I think it's even Pantone matched. So why did I buy? Okay, so anyways, it's not a very comfortable strap. It's not very pliable. And in spite of having these ridges in the strap that are supposed to help with sweat and heat management, it's not great. Although it does look good, and if you enjoy it, it will look fantastic on the wrist. This, because it's a black watch with a black and gray face, it looks fantastic with a black strap, green, beige, even a dark navy blue, the one that I use with my Mark 20, happens to look really good on this watch, and I don't know why that is. So after my Spitfire, I loved wearing it, and I decided I wanted to add a second piece. And while I was perusing through, the website, Chrono24, etc., I saw this. And, when you know, you know. And that's the thing with watches and ladies and all the things that men are drawn to. When you know, you know. And I just knew. I saw this and I knew. What I agonized over was the fit. I have, as I said in the last video, lady wrists. Now my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. It's actually 16 and a quarter in circumference. But the benefit, the advantage that I do have is that my wrist is broad across the top. It's flat. It's not a very oval-shaped wrist, as you can see. It's a very oval-shaped wrist, not a very round wrist. So the circumference bears out pretty well in the lug-to-lug. And I'll show you as it sits flat on my wrist. There's no real overhang. And it looks really good. But when purchasing a $12,600 timepiece, you really want to know. So I suggest what you do is, since this is a boutique only watch, go to a local IWC dealer that may not be a boutique and look at the Pilot Chronograph 41 in stainless steel and see how that fits. Now, that watch has the Pilot Chronograph, some of them, their dimensions are sometimes just a hair difference. Why? Because some of them have a display case back and do not have that soft iron core, which has anti-magnetic properties. And some of them do. And the ones with the solid case back are just a hair thicker. And the lug to lug is the same, but some of them have just a little bit more of a lug to lug. So I got this watch from the boutique, and they're just fantastic. They're just the online boutique. They're just fantastic. They are. I don't like buying things from online, especially luxury items, because the experience in purchasing it is about talking to the person that is selling you the watch, building a relationship with them, sitting down, having a drink, looking at their watches, looking at other watches, telling them about your experience and your family, and it should be an experience. But for those of you who want a boutique only watch, but you live hours and hours away from the closest boutique, you're not left with a whole lot of other options other than traveling to the boutique. And I was going to travel 5 hours to go purchase one from a boutique, but they would have had to order it as well. And there were some other hoops to jump through. And so when I called Lauren at IWC, and she said that she would be able to obtain this piece for me, I was A, floored, and B, I couldn't resist. And the rest of the purchase process was super fantastic, but a little different, because I wound up doing something else in acquiring the watch. But she was still incredibly fantastic, and I can't thank her enough. So why this particular one? Why not the stainless steel? Why not the bronze? One, the material. So this is Ceratanium. It's a proprietary metal alloy blend, what have you, where they basically take titanium, which is incredibly durable but prone to scratching, and they coat it and fire it so that there's a ceramic coating that is bonded within the molecules of the metal, and pardon the dog in the background, and it creates almost an unscratchable ceramic coating on the outside that gives you the benefits of the anti-scratch. Hold on one moment, it gives you the benefits of ceramics scratch resistance, but the durability of ceramic, but without the likelihood of fracturing the material if you were to drop it. And it doesn't exist in other places in the watch world. And the attention to detail, they use the same treatment for the pushers, for the buckle. This one, I didn't switch the buckle over because this is 20 millimeters and this one tapers to 18. I've got something on the way though. Case back is smoked sapphire. Perfectly color matched dial. This amazing gray contrast to the hands. Same tone in the outline of the hands. And it has a day and date. And all of my watches have a date function, except for my Hamilton Khaki Murph, which is essentially my dress watch, because I'm a giant softie and I love that movie and I love the way the watch looks, and it's a fantastic dress watch. And you can't beat the value for the price. And I hope one day to to pass it on. So what else is special about this watch? Well, it has an interesting, well, first of all, sizing for IWC, super favorable amongst the chronographs. 14.5 millimeter in thickness, thinner. This is a chronograph with a day and date, and it's thinner than my Black Bay Pro. It has 100 meters of water resistance in a chronograph. It has the smoked sapphire glass. It has 46 hours of power reserve, not fantastic, but not horrible. It says IWC manufactured movement. I still think it's a modified Valjoux 7750 or whatever it is, but incredibly reliable. If you look at the top, you see the minute hand. Very satisfying click. You notice as the second hand advances during the chronograph function, there's no advancement of the minute hand. The minute hand advances 1 minute tick incrementally as the second hand passes the 12 o'clock position. It's just, when you see it in person and you wear it, it goes with everything. It's pretty much breathtaking. You can't stop looking at it. Extreme durability, extreme scratch protection, super attention to detail, decent lume. So we'll watch the minute hand jump. That's it. Day and date in a 14.5 millimeter, 20 millimeter lug to lug, not too broad across the wrist. I'll put it on for us for the last of it. And on top of that, even though I was unable to make it to a boutique, almost a boutique-like experience in purchasing it. And again, I have to say, the online boutique, or phone or whatever it is, they don't care if they don't sell you a watch. They want to facilitate you obtaining it. And IWC wants to maintain a relationship with their dealers, so they're happy to try and facilitate you getting it. Just because of my schedule, multiple drives back and forth just wasn't feasible. And they made it so easy by saying, hey, if it doesn't fit, just send it back. And it's just incredible. Incredible. What else can I say about it? Satisfying winding, bidirectional winding, no jump on the second hands, super crisp movement as you would expect from a watch of this manufacturer. You get the same movement with the much less expensive Pilot Chronograph 41. So you can get all the same value, you can get all the same tech in terms of the internals at a much better value, but you cannot replace the engineering that went into creating this case. I'm getting a little bit verbose. Would I buy this watch again? 100 times over. If you buy this watch from IWC, from the boutique, you get an NFT, which gives you they call it the Diamond Hand Club. And essentially you get insider ability to make early purchases, go to events, etc. It's just a little touch that I think is pretty neat. You get an 8-year warranty when you register the watch, and you get to look down at your wrist and see this thing every day. And you just wouldn't, you won't be sorry. You'll see, yes, it's expensive. If you can't swing it, get the bronze version, get the stainless steel version. They can only make 1,000 of these a year because of the difficulty in creating it. There is the potential for a Ceratanium ease exchange bracelet coming in the future, but they are working on the materials, you know, the production of them, because it's difficult to make the material. It's going to be expensive. I'm going to get one anyway if it's at all available to me. But even without it, even when I do own it, I don't know that I'll wear it as much as I'll wear it on this fantastic khaki strap or beige strap. So that's it. That's the watch. It's accurate. I'm losing about 2 to 3 seconds a day over the past week. I've been paying attention over the last week. I set it to my iPhone. I set it exactly 2 minutes ahead to my iPhone, and it's almost exactly 2 minutes ahead to my iPhone as it was when I set it a week ago. Cannot get enough of it. So next, I will talk about my Mark 20. It is an absolutely stunning watch. I love it as much as I love the other ones. The bronze being sentimental and gorgeous because of the bronze and it being my first IWC. The Ceratanium being an engineering feat and material science feat and a chronograph and just badass. You don't want to say, I mean, you don't hear the words badass in a watch video very often. This watch is quite simply badass. And I tell you, I don't love one more than the other. But at the end of the Mark 20 video, I will probably try and pick one that if I had to take one to an island for the rest of my life, I'll come to a conclusion about which one I would take. Again, I'm not a professional watch YouTuber. I don't sell watches professionally or buy watches professionally. I buy watches as a sickness. I don't make YouTube videos professionally. I don't have a channel. I do not care if you like. I do not care if you subscribe. And I do not care if you have negative feedback. But if you write something in the comments, if you have any kind of question about the buying experience or the watch itself, you know, we're a community of people who enjoy these ridiculous pieces of art. And it's fun to talk to people. And I'm happy to answer any questions or make a follow-up video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the Mark 20 video.